touching the private parts, whether it breaks wudu or not. When we say private parts, that's very vague. So for a man, his penis basically is that's what is meant by this what we are discussing here. So Ahnaf say it doesn't break wudu. It doesn't break wudu. Just if someone is scratching himself or he's putting his trouser on, and if your hand touches his private part, like that's called a dhakar, then it doesn't break wudu for Ahnaf. They take from a hadith, which is an authentic hadith. This hadith says, الرجل يمس ذكره في الصلاة أعليه الوضوء. Someone asked Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, a man, he touched his private part in salah, does he need to do wudu again? فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إنما هو بضعة منك. It is a part of you, it's a body of you. So it doesn't break wudu. So for Ahnaf, they take this view. They say it doesn't break wudu. This hadith is found in many hadith. Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Nisai, Ibn Majah, Ahmad, Daraqutni, Ibn Habban, and it's authentic hadith. So they take from that. So from the hadith, the person, a man who touches his penis during prayer, should he perform wudu? The person, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, no, it's part of your body. It is also reported that many Sahaba were on that view. They had this view that this is not a hadath, this is not something which breaks your wudu. Umar radiallahu anhu, Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Ibn Mas'ud, Zayd bin Thabit, Imran bin Hussein, and other Sahaba, they have been known to have this view. So this is not like a alien view, this is a view from early days. Hudhayfa bin al-Yaman, Abi Huraira, Abi Darda, they all were in that view. It doesn't break your wudu. And they did not consider it a hadath. So, to summarize, Hanafis do not consider just the touching of private part, whether a person is male, a female, or is the front, or is the back, what do they call it, like the anus. Just the touching of it doesn't break wudu. It does not invalidate wudu. That's the Hanafi view, complete. Simple. Madhab of Imam Malik, so they have a ruling for men. Because the hadith specifically mentioned, specifically mentions penis. So they say this hadith is specifically for the front passage for man only. So they say the touching of penis breaks wudu in all circumstances. Where Hanafi say it doesn't break, they say it breaks in all certain circumstances. But the touching of anus doesn't. Because specifically hadith had mentioned that part. And whichever part of the penis, with lust, with no lust, with intention, with no intention, forgetfully, knowingly, it is all same. If he touches himself, it breaks wudu for the Malikis. The touch has to be from the front of the hand. The back of the hand is not considered a tool for touching or holding. So as long as it's from the front, which includes the finger or fingertips and the front part. So they say as long as that, if so much so, if someone has an extra finger, if that finger touches, also breaks his wudu. But this ruling is for males only. For Malikis, it doesn't break wudu for a woman if she touches her private part. Because the wordings of the hadith is very specific to the man's private part. and only the private part, testicles are not included. So their madhab, and neither is anus included. So their madhab is just the private part. If it's touched from the front of the hand, that will break wudu. And they use the hadith, من مس ذكره فليتوضأ. And Imam Bukhari said, هو أصح شيء في هذا الباب. This is the most authentic hadith in this subject, is this hadith, meaning from the point of narration. It's a strong narration. The Shafi'i madhab, they agree that, like Malikis, if the front of the hand, or fingertips of the front of the hand, including the fingertips, and if it touches penis, it breaks wudu, but not the back of the hand, because as we said, the back of the hand is not a tool. They say the back of the hand is like his thighs, or is like his other part of body. So what hadith mentioned, the touch happens from here. That's what they like. When someone wants to hold something or pick something up, he uses this part of the hand. So they only consider if that part of the hand was to touch, then it will break wudu. But if you remember, the Maliki said it's only for males. Shafi says no. Even though only dhakr has been male has been mentioned, but based on that, they say males and also females and also front and back and anus and everything included, if he touches, it breaks wudu. Yeah. So Hanafi said nothing breaks wudu. Maliki says only for males. Shafi says for everyone. Male, female, front and back, it breaks wudu. Okay? So if we think about how we started with a view, the Hanafi view, which says nothing touching will not break your wudu. Then we went to Maliki view, it breaks wudu only for male. Then we went with the front of the hands, yeah? And then we went to the Shafi'i madhab, and we said it breaks not just for man and woman. Now going to Hanbali madhab, they say it breaks whether the front of the hand or the back of the hand. They don't differentiate in that. And from the hadith, إِذَا أَفْضَى أَحَدُكُمْ بِيَدِهِ, and the hadith continue. That hadith, it mentions not just touch, it mentions بِيَدِهِ. They say the front and the back is all yad, it's all hand. So whether a person touches from the sides of the fingers or the back or front, it doesn't matter, his wudu is broken. Also, that hadith, it uses a word instead of the wording in that hadith is the faraj instead of dhakar. Instead of penis, it says faraj. Faraj means private part. So it includes everything for male, female, and it includes, front, back, passage, anus, everything is included. The Hanbali madhab, they say it breaks wudu in all scenario, front of the hand, back of the hand. So let's do a quick summary before we finish this. Hanafis, they said touching private parts does not break wudu regardless. Maliki said it breaks wudu for men only for his front passage, or for his penis. If it's from the front of the hand, the palm and fingers. The Shafi'is, they went further. They said if it's from the front of the hand, whether male or female, it will break wudu, including the anus. And Hanbalis, they said whether the front of the hand or the back of the hand, all hand, it will break wudu for men and women. If just touching, if you happen to touch yourself, it will break wudu. And they all have their hadith and they all have their view.